In this exercise, I have made a scenario for you people in which we learn two things. One, how can we configure a dhcp server, and how to assign IPs with the help of dhcp server to the clients in the same network. Secondly, how to assign IPs with the help of dhcp server to the clients that are present in other networks. Now, as you can see, there are two networks. One is connected with fast Ethernet 1/0 interface of this router, and the other network is connected with fast Ethernet interface 0/0. The IP scheme I am using for this network is 192.168.1.0, and IP scheme I am using for this network is 172.16.16.0. First, we need to configure both these pools in our dhcp server. Let's do it. Click on dhcp. The default pool is already there. We need to add our pools in there. So first I am going to configure the pool 192, that is on the right side in my scenario, connected to interface fast Ethernet 1/0. The first IP of that pool I am going to assign to the default gateway, which is this interface basically. DNS server in this case is the address of this server, this dhcp server. This one. So I'm going to give an IP here. Now I need to define the start IP address. I want to .1.11. So the IPs that dhcp assign to the clients in this network will start from 192.168.1.11, and its subnet mask .255.255.255.0, which is /24, means that we have 256 IPs in this subnet. Specify the maximum number of users in this network. I'm going to specify 50. Now add this and save it. Now, as you see, we have two pools. One is the default pool, and the other we have configured for our network. Now again, we configure the other network in the dhcp server, other pool, which is 172.16.16.0/24. First IP of this pool, I am going to assign it to the default gateway, which is this interface, interface fast Ethernet 0/0. So 172.16.16.1 is the default gateway here. DNS is going to be the same, as we defined previously, the address of the DHCP server. Now start IP range for this network. One 172.16.16.11 means that IPs that it will assign to the clients will start from 11 172.16.16.11 255 255 255 is the mask for this pool. Number of hosts, I'll say 40. Set the name of the pool, pool 172. Add and save. Now if you see, we have three pools configured in the DHCP server. Default pool, which remains here, the pool 192 for the network on the right side, and the pool 172 for the network on the left side. Let's assign IP to DHCP server, which we have configured already, 192.168.1.10. Default gateway is 192.168.1.1. Why? Because DHCP server belongs to this network, and the default gateway for it should be 192.168.1.1. DNS server is the same as the default as the DHCP server address, 1.10. Okay, now we have configured the pools. Okay, now if you see, we have three pools, the 172 dot, the pool 172, the pool 192, and the pool 0. But as you see, it has changed automatically, so you need to change it back to 0, otherwise you will not able to assign, it will not assign the IP. So change it back to 0. This is some kind of problem in packet tracer. We need to change it once. Okay, now save it. These are now saved. Okay, now because this client is present in the same server, in the same network where DHCP is, so it will get an IP address automatically as they put it on DHCP. As you can see, now the IP has assigned to the client, which was our first IP address, 1.11 for this network. But now if I try to assign IP address to this client in this network, it will say DHCP request failed because default gateways are not configured yet, and we need to do some other thing in the router as well. Let's see. First, we will assign IP to the default gateway for pool 192. Config T for global configuration mode interface. I'm going to give IP address to this interface now, which is fast Ethernet 1/0, IP address 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255. That's a subnet mask. Enter. No shut. Exit. Now this interface is up. Now we need to configure this interface, which is fast Ethernet 0/0 for pool 172. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0. IP address 172.168.1.1. That's the first IP of this pool. No shut. Exit. Now this link is also going to be up in a moment. Now as we see, the default gateways are configured. We try to assign the IP address to this PC again, see if it can get it. No. Why it is not getting IP address is because it broadcasts, it looks for DHCP server to get an IP address, but it does not, router does not know where to forward the request, where is the DHCP server. So we need to configure IP helper command, in which we'll give the address of the DHCP server, so that when a request comes from this PC or this PC or any PC from this subnet network, it forwards it to this DHCP server. Let's see. For this we need to go to interface first Ethernet 0/0 IP helper address 192.168.1.10, which was the address of DHCP server. Press enter and we are done. Now when a request comes from this PC or any PC from this network, the router knows where to forward it. It works as a relay, because we know that router does not forward any broadcast. It will unicast that packet to this. It will give the address of this server to this PC and forward the request, and then this PC can unicast to this server to get an IP address. Let's see if we can assign IP address this time. Now as you can see that DHCP server is assigning the IP address, which is 172.16.16.12. Let's see if this PC can also get the IP address. Now all the PCs in this network are also getting IP addresses from this DHCP server, which is present in another network. So when we want to assign IP addresses to the clients that are not present in the network where the DHCP is, we need to use IP helper command in the router to redirect the request to DHCP server. Thank you very much for your attention. Good luck.